Man, I'm really running low on lives here. I need to start finding some 3-up moons, which I'm surprised exist in Super Mario World. I didn't know that they existed until after Lunar Magic. Like, I thought Lunar Magic made it up, and the whole 3-up moon was just the logo for the program because it was a thing that they made up, but no, it is in the game, and that's so weird. I don't know why it hasn't shown up in any other games. I guess the mushroom is just more memorable somehow? People relate to the mushrooms more than they do the moon. Of course, I would give the moon to people who do mushrooms. You want the moon? Say the word and I'll tie a lasso around it and pull it right down. I like how there's an option to have a fire power-up right before this. Right before this boss. And then you can literally fight fire with fire, and it works. Of course, it's technically fire with burning, and those are two different power-ups. Which is a little bit funky, but it's game logic. I don't think I've ever really bothered to worry about the things that you can collect in this section with the laser. If there's anything, I'm not even sure if there is. Boy, golly gee, I am tired. What are these trees in the background? Like, these are kind of the laziest looking trees, because they have this solid looking bark, and then they just have what looks like the plague above them. I don't know. Wait a minute. Well, I'm not going to be able to get anything in this level anyways. I'm not going to get the button, but I need to still get through the level. So I will do that. And hopefully not die in the process, but it's very possible that I will, just by doing something stupid. I'm glad that you can still run over single spaces even if you have something in your mouth. Great Athletic Kirby. He is perfectly round and yet still very spunky. If spunky's the right word. Spunky is not a word that I've used in probably 11 billion centuries. Yeah, this is a section where you need the hammer. Because you can only use power-ups underwater if they are visibly on your person, and the only items that are visibly on your person are the ones that you're holding in your hand, like the sword or the hammer, but the sword doesn't work, so you have to bring the hammer in here, and there's not even a hammer in this level to start with. There's no hammer gorilla, so you have to leave the level and come back into it. And that's what stumped me for so long playing this. Now, I know that I'm missing something in World, or Level 5 here. I mean, I guess it is World 5 too. But it's World 5-5, it's not World 5-2. Shut up. I just know that I'm missing something here because the door is red, and that's the indication. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, the door's right here. And this is kind of an annoying one to get. The strategy is just to start with the high jump, jump over, lose the power-up, get the fire guy, and then... Yep. Now that's not the worst button to get. There's definitely one later that's way worse, in my opinion. Probably two that are way worse. But that's one of the ones that took me a long time to get right. Wait a minute. I don't need this. I need a hammer, but I'm just gonna wait on the hammer, I guess. This boss can either take no time at all, or it can take a super ridiculously long time, depending on whether or not you have a power-up. If you have a power-up, not too bad. If you don't have a power-up, well, sit down and grab some popcorn. For that reason, I think it would be really nice to be able to leave levels on your first playthrough of them, but unfortunately that's not how this game is designed. Orange Ocean might be my favorite world, and I don't really know if there's really a justification for that, aside from the fact that I kind of like water levels, and Orange Ocean has this sunset feel to it, and the combination of ocean and orange it's really great to me. It's not grape, though. That's the garden from earlier. Okay, so I don't remember which one of these had the hammer. I'm just gonna move on to the next level, because I don't remember exactly which level has, which levels have the hammer guy. But I know that 6-3 does, and we'll be getting there pretty soon, so... This room I'm pretty sure is pointless. As the elephant, it's bothersome to fight because there's water. Maybe not that bothersome, he might give you some lives. But it's not for a button, so that means I don't care. Hello, one-up that I can't grab because of oddly metallic whatevers. Oh, I think this might be another level where you need a very specific kind of power-up. Not as specific as only the hammer, but still kind of specific. Let me see here. Yeah, the stomping power would be great here, or the rock type. The rock is what it's called, but it's the one that you use to stomp down. Now if you grab two enemies at once with powers, then if you inhale both at once, rather, then you have an opportunity to combine them and it randomly transforms into another power. And so I'm going to attempt to use that to my advantage to hopefully randomize something that will be useful to me. And that's sometimes just what I do here. Ball, that's not going to be useful. Stone, just what I wanted. Might not have been rock, but I was close. I'm amazed at how quickly that worked, because sometimes you can randomize for ever and nothing happens. But hey, gambler's fallacy. I mean, that's not the exact correct use of that word, but... Look at these pretty backgrounds. It's like looking into the headlights of a football stadium in the background there. Are they called headlights? Are they floodlights? I don't know. Whatever the lights are in the football field. And then Kirby stabs the ground with his snorkel. I'm not very careful whenever I play Kirby, unless it's the extra mode. Maybe I should be, but I'm just not. And I want this rock. This will be useful. You have to carry this with you to the next part of the level. Okay, careful. You explode. Nothing of here that's of too much consequence. You fall down to your death. And we got it. I wish that the stone power could be used underwater, but I don't think it can unless you're already above the water beforehand. If you're in a completely underwater area, then it's useless. Of course, I could even be wrong about using it above water and then stomping down into the water like that. I don't know all the complex mannerisms of the mechanics in Kirby games, because there's so many. But that is one of the kind of inspiring things about Kirby games. Like, playing this has inspired me lately with my own game design, because with my game Project Comet, which I still would really like to come up with a different name for that because there's already something kind of popular called Project Comet, and Project Comet is just a temporary name anyways. But yeah, just the game that I'm making that is a platformer, a 2D platformer like Kirby, I want to add more different mechanics to it to make it more interesting to play, because I've been playing Kirby lately, and there's so many different ways to play these games because of all the different powers. And it's just fun having gameplay with lots of variety. Like, even though I've said before that Kirby is not my favorite series by any means, I like games that just change up their gameplay pretty rapidly, because Sonic Adventure is a game that changes its control scheme very rapidly, and it changes its whole gameplay and genre, style, and everything from level to level, almost. Or at least from character to character. And so it feels like a whole bunch of different games in one. And then Mario Party is fun for that reason, because it really is just a whole bunch of games in one. And you're quickly going between all these different gameplay styles. And even though it makes sense for a game to be designed as just its own game, somehow that's not as appealing to me most of the time. It's hard to explain exactly, but I know what I'm talking about in my mind. Alright, so this is 6-3, I believe. There's no way for me to check, but 6-3 is the level that I go to for the hammer power-up, because it's easy enough to find, and I just remember it. But we're going to be ditching this power pretty shortly, because we'll be needing a different power. And that power is... well, it was going to be that laser. Hold on a moment. I think I always mess this up. Once more with feeling. Because I've lost all feeling in my left leg. That was just a random statement. It had no pertinence to the discussion. Okay, need to be quicker about launching into the cannon. Hooray. Try cloud gaming. Now, is this the door that I go in? I guess so. I think it's fascinating how this one screen has so much more animation than most of the other screens, because these big sails, like, they're not just scaled up, small scale sprites. Sail sprites, is what I meant to say. They're actually full moving tile sets. And that's more motion than you see anywhere else in the backgrounds of any other game. Any other Kirby game. Except for, like, the water, but the water doesn't count the same way, in my opinion. Darn you, whatever you're called. You cute Kirby look-alike with your cute arms, who turns into something not so cute if I so much as breathe near you. Seeing all those coconuts is now making me think of Dunstan Checks In, which is a movie that most people, I would imagine, do not like, but I like it, because I'm weird. It's not that it's the most impressive movie, but I think it's funny. And people say it's predictable, or at least nostalgia critics said it's predictable, and yeah, it is, but to me that doesn't stop it from being funny. And it doesn't really have a clear audience, but for some reason I'm part of the audience that it is apparently geared towards. It's like a kid's movie, but it also has swearing. I don't know. Then again, I just watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like I said before, and that movie doesn't seem to be geared towards kids. It is so gritty, but I watched it as a kid, and it didn't scar me for life, so... Also, I died. I might actually be just ripping through all these lives, but there are enough of them that doesn't really matter so much, and I'm about to get 3 more just in a moment. There's another one up there. I'm not really sure how to get that one. But again, I'm not really sure if it matters. Wait. I'll just ignore it. This isn't a 100% one-up run. And if I'm not mistaken, the button, the switch, the big glowy jelly bean is over here. Yep. It's so satisfying to push. It just looks so squishy. I want a button that looks like that in real life. I can just imagine how it feels. Umbrellas. Haven't shown off the umbrella power yet, or the parasol, or the parapluie, or the bumbershoot. But it's kind of one of my least favorites, because you jump, and then if you're holding A, or not, you don't even have to hold A, just if you jump, then you start floating. And it feels really awkward to me, but it's helpful here to stop the falling coconut weather that we're having today. I was gonna say, the coconuts remind me of the end of Dunstan Checks In, where What's-His-Face has a coconut land on his head, and that's the end of the movie. Until it breaks into this rap music for the credits. I really like this overworld. That's something I probably should touch upon more, but I really like the fact that this game has its own hub world. And it's not just an overworld map like in most Mario games. You can actually explore it. Even though there's not much to explore, it's a platforming section, and that's just really cool to me. It's not the most efficient setup, but this game is fast enough where it doesn't matter, and I just think it's awesome to be able to explore, like, every part of the game is actually a world, and it's pertinent to the gameplay. If that makes sense. Okay, enemies are falling everywhere now. I wish you could just inhale the apple and then turn into an apple. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like if Kirby inhaled other things besides just the enemies that have powers, if everything gave you powers. Like, if Kirby was drinking a milkshake, would he turn into a milkshake? And what would his power be? To blow bubbles? I don't know. I mean, he already is able to blow bubbles with other powers, but, like, just a thought that I've had. Okay, this is an annoying part of the game, if I remember correctly. Gosh, this is annoying. It was really annoying in the extra mode. But you have to have the fire power, and then you make that blow up. Stop that. Stop it. You want that to be blown up as well. Go down here. Burn that. You have to burn the rope. And then very quickly move to the cannon. You have to move very quickly. I'm probably gonna die. Yep, I'm gonna die. This might be where I lose all 40 of my lives. Except I don't really expect that to happen, but Kirby is just, what is that, like, I guess 4.5 times as many lives as a cat, roughly. Okay, Star, I don't need you anyways. I don't know if you can use the beam the same way as you can use the fire in this section, but I haven't tried, and I just assume it won't work. Okay, so we get the fire. Let's do this again. Maybe I can just grab that life that I lost a second ago, while also losing another life in the process, because this part's hard. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it this time. This is without a doubt one of the most annoying, probably the most annoying button to reach in the game. I'm amazed that I got it in as few times as I did. Okay. Boom, baby, boom. We have just caused a baby boom. Somehow. And then millions of Kirbys just explode from a hole in the sky. And that's how Mass Effect was born. Not Mass Effect, Mass Attack. I need to stop forgetting what the names of games are.